So, hello. This is question 42 of chapter 20, and I have the question written out and all the relationships written out as well. And it says an ideal transformer takes an AC voltage of amplitude 170 volts as its input and supplies a 7.8 amplitude to a circuit that converts it to DC. The primary has 300 turns. Question A is how many turns are on the secondary? Now we have the relationship between voltage between the secondary and the primary and the turns of the secondary and the primary on the transformer. And through some algebra, we can find that because the voltage on the secondary over the voltage on the primary is equal to the turns on the secondary over the turns on the primary, that we can find the turns on the secondary by the turns on the primary times the voltage of the secondary over the voltage of the primary. Now let's write out our values that are given in the equation. So we have the primary voltage. Oh, did not mean to do that. We have the primary voltage as 170 volts, the secondary voltage as 7.8 volts, and the primary amount of turns as 300. That would give us 300 times 7.8 volts over 170 volts. Now I already have my math on a separate thing over here. That would make it approximately, because we can't do half a turn, 14. Now that gives us the amount of turns on the secondary. Now for question B, it asks, when the circuit uses 5, I keep looking over here because this is where I'm recording, but my camera's over here. When the circuit uses 5 watts, what is I, or the amplitude, from the 170 volt line? We can find the amps using, so in a ideal transformer, which it says right here, power is conserved. So the amount of watts out is equal to the amount of watts in, which means that if we have our circuit which the output power is being put to, we know our secondary power. So that's 5 watts. So the primary power must be also 5 watts. And we know that power in watts is equal to voltage times amplitude. So using this, we can configure the equation to find the primary amplitude from the primary voltage, which would be 5 watts over 120 volts, which is, I have my math on the side here, 0.029 amps, or amps. So the amplitude on the 120 volt line is 0.029 amps, or 29 milliamps. That is question 42 from chapter 20. Thank you, and have a good evening.